York's classic rock. Q1043.
Some rock from Canada as we welcome Stephane Matteau to the studio. Matteau!
Yes, good morning.
Good morning. You need a third one to go along.
Good morning, Jim, yes, and Shelley.
And I mean, the Howie Rose radio call, has gone down as one of the greatest of all time because what he was describing was one of the greatest events of all time in New York City sports history. Without you, no Stanley Cup for the Rangers in 1994. I mean, that's got to make you feel awesome. I mean, I understand team, sport, all of that. But without you, it wouldn't have happened.
Well, we had such a good team. Like if you, we were to be humble. Like because hockey players were very humble. I was part of one of the best team in the national NHL history. But they very humble by it. 30 years later, we still talk about it. My goal, I think, without the Howie Rose call, I don't know if it would have been the same impact. I think both of us are going. We are a couple. And I think we are doing pretty good because I think his call was incredible.
Yeah, but without the goal, no victory. Without the victory, you don't advance. I
agree, yes.
Yeah, so you did it. I mean, okay, I understand you're humble. You did it.
Thank you. I did it. I am very, it was one of the best series of all time playing against the New Jersey Devils. I know Shelley likes to, we can go on, and they...
It was painful.
It was painful.
It was painful for us, but I respect you, and I love hockey, and I'm excited for Rangers fans today.
Thank you.
Am.
She still wore red, even though she knew you were.
I still wore red. Yes.
And, yes, and I'm in awe of those sports announcers that do play-by-play. I mean, they have such an incredible way with words. They have to think so quickly and be so descriptive. They are just amazing storytellers, especially those who are on the radio, because they don't just describe the facts. They have to paint a picture. And, that particular call, which went down in history, had to have entered his head a fraction of a second before he went on the air and said it. Do
you think he was even thinking? I think it was just a reaction. I just think it was complete emotion.
I mean, it was, he scores, Matteau, Stephane Matteau. And the Rangers have one more hill to climb, baby. But it's Mount Vancouver. The Rangers are headed to the finals.
I heard that one.
But Jim, you're reading it word for word off the paper, and Matteau's doing it off the top of his head.
Yeah, but that was
that's
just...
my life, yeah.
But you have to think, I mean...
I hope that's positive.
No,
but that
Howie's in the booth, he's watching the action, and simultaneously those words had to come out of his mouth, and you could inscribe those words, on the side of a mountain. I mean, they're just awesome.
Well, he was in the best position, but that was a gamble when you're talking to Howie, because Tikkanen was a few inches away from the puck, and he swung at it. And some reporters were saying it was a gutsy move call because he could have been Tikkanen. And he took a gamble, and he's such a professional person that he didn't miss the call. I'm very grateful for that.
So, Stephane, you are Québécois?
Québécois, Français, oui.
Oh, no.
Celine Dion's
don't start
fan.
that with Jim.
Now, so when you were a little boy, you were a fan of...
The Montreal Canadiens.
Okay, so here is a question for you. When you grow up and you become a professional hockey player, and, let's say you've got the New York Rangers jersey on, and you go home where your family or your relatives live, and you go home, you go to Centre Bell, and you play against the Canadiens. You are the visiting enemy. What does that feel like?
It's the best feeling. It's the best feeling. But my idol growing up was Guy Lafleur.
Oh.
When I came, my first NHL game against him, he was on his way out when he played for the Quebec Nordiques. Mm. And I'm hanging up on the face-off, and I couldn't, I remember like it was yesterday. I said, Mr. Lafleur, I call him Mr. on the face-off. And thank you very much for all the great memories. And he was a very humble person. And he says, good luck to you. Have a great career. I wish you the best. And they dropped the puck, and we were not fighting, but we were competing against each other. But that was pretty special, playing against my idol growing up, Guy Lafleur, yeah.
And did all your relatives show up to see you?
They first every time.
And who did they root for?
They wrote. My mom hated the Montreal Canadiens because they were tough on their son. They would have, if I would have been drafted by the Canadiens. The medias are very tough on the local French Canadian. They are in awe when you're doing great, but also when you're not doing good, they could be very tough. So my mom was a huge fan of mine, and every time I played against the Canadiens, they drove up 6 hours. Driving to see me play at the old Montreal Forum and the Bell Center later on.
So you got drafted by another Canadian team,
The
right?
Calgary Flames in 1987, and I played alongside. My first right winger was Lenny McDonald, and another legend in Canada. Lenny was his last. He won the Stanley Cup 2 years later for the Flames, but I'm very fortunate. Like I played with Terran Fleury, Doug Gilmour. I played on 6 different teams, so I'm very fortunate that I had a chance to play with my idols or against my idol.
Well, you played on 6 different teams, but you are a Ranger.
Always.
That's
Always.
what you are.
I'm a Rangers. I get all my Ranger gear. I never been invited to another team. I never had success as a team with the other team. So I'm a Rangers everywhere. I represent the Rangers. I'd like to say that I am a Rangers. I go to the games about 20 times a year, and living in West Palm Beach, I go back and forth, and I'm so proud walking into the Madison Square Garden when people recognize me and I recognize the moment 30 years ago.
Well, I have a quote here from you. You said, every time I go to Madison Square Garden, it's magical. I hugged a 70-year-old man who cried in my arms.
Yeah.
I would have been uncomfortable 20 years ago, but I get it today.
I didn't get it the first 10, 15 years. I was uncomfortable. And now it's been 20 years that I've been an alumni going back and forth in Madison Square Garden. And it's like to that quote, it is magical. Having a 70-year-old man with their grandkids pointing at me, say, this is the reason why they won the Stanley Cup. And I cry with them. I just and they don't want to let go and I get that moment. I think I'm very good at representing the moment, what happened in 1994.
So, if you had to pick for round 2 for the Rangers, would you rather the Rangers play the Islanders or the Canes?
That's a tough one. Everyone are aiming for the Canes, and they are. I think they're a better team, but they found a way to win a big hockey game last game. So you cannot count them out. The odds are against them, but if it will be a much better. It's hard to say. It's going to be a good matchup, even if it's the Islanders or the Canes. So, but the Ranger fans and the Rangers organization, they hope they go to Game 7 so they can beat themselves up, so they get more.
Absolutely.
So that's what they.
Time to relax right now.
You cannot no. But they're 2 teams, so that would be a good matchup.
So do you get the feeling this year? You know, it's 30 years later.
30 years later.
Do you have the feeling that this could be it?
People came up. It's the same year that O.J. Simpson, the earthquake, the eclipse. A lot of things happening, and the Knicks, and there's a lot of things happened 30 years ago. I don't buy that. it's fun to read about it. But what my feeling is, they have probably the best team I've seen as an alumni. They're well coached. They have a very good system, good goaltender, and probably the best power play in the league. And they have players. The top players are performing at their best, and also the supporting cast, the third line and the fourth line, and Ramke, who's hitting every. I think he's even.
Oh yes, hitting.
He's the Empire State Building. Leave him alone.
He's a big part of the team, and he's doing his best to stay in the lineup. So he brings fear to the other team. But they are as good as I've seen the last 10, 15 years.
But are you superstitious? Like, will you not be able to say, yeah, this is the year? I mean, because I totally get that.
Marc Messier taught us to live the moment. Don't be afraid to talk about, we have the team to win the Stanley Cup, and they do have the team to win the Stanley Cup, but it's the longest journey ever. You have to win 16 games to win the Stanley Cup. They only won 4 so far, but let's not be afraid. Let's say they have a very good shot of winning the Stanley Cup, and they're one step closer.
Stephane Matteau is with us here at Q104.3. Did you play baseball when you were a kid?
I played baseball. I played a little league. I was fortunate to be in the Little League World Series in 1982 alongside my best friend Pierre Turgeon, who played for the Islanders.
Wow.
There was only 2 pitchers at the time, and we had a miracle summer. And I ended up pitching in the semifinal against Taiwan, and we lost 10-7 in the semifinal. So we
You
finished
actually you
But
scored
still two
you
hockey
scored
players.
7 runs against Taiwan.
They committed 5 errors in that
Oh,
game, and but that's we still scored 7 runs. But I remember we were up 4-2 with 2 innings left, so they hit 7 runs on me in the 1 inning.
And you were a pitcher
I was a pitcher and a third baseman. Yeah,
in the World Series.
yeah.
That is really cool.
That's really something. Yeah.
It's 16 past 8 o'clock. We'll be right back at the Q. Yes, we're so happy to have him here. Monsieur Français Long. So, the pH in my English brain, my Anglophone brain, is
Yeah.
so. I've heard it pronounced both ways. Is it Stephane or Stephane?
Well, kids call me Step on My Toe. So but people also call me Stephanie because of the E at the end. So you cannot be confused with it's Stephane. in the
Okay,
French-
so
the French.
Stephane. So
Okay.
I was correct.
Stephane.
I blame.
Okay. And you have a big
Yeah.
event taking place on May 23rd, celebrating the 30th anniversary of the Game 7 double overtime game winner versus the Devils in 1994. And there will be a panel discussion with you, also Howie Rose,
Yeah.
and Mike Richter and Adam Graves, and your best friend,
Pierre Turgeon, yeah.
and from the Devils, Jim Dowd.
Yeah. I wanted to create a panel that the fans could hear all the version. I wanted to have a devil because when Zalapukin scored with 7 seconds left in the game, we were all in shock on our side, but I wanted to hear the Devils side, how happy they were when they scored, tied the game, losing the game. And Jim Dowd, I met him over the years, an outstanding person. And I wanted to hear a version from the Islanders when we swept them in 4, not to put my best friend on the spot, but we did sweep them in 4. And also have my best friend on my side. And also 2 of my favorite Rangers of all time, Adam Graves, who I learned so much over the years just to be next to him, and Mike Richter. The reason why I scored that goal because Mike Richter could not stop the puck with 7 seconds left in the game. So we like to joke about it. It's been 30 years, so we've been working on those jokes. So it's and how we rose, obviously. So we've never been on the stage together. It's something that the fans will love. It's something we are very good storytelling people, and I think the fans will ask a great question. But also, it's about time that we do something special to go back 30 years ago because time is flying. We're not getting any younger, and I think But the money goes to a good foundation. It's going to go to my foundation and How We Rose, Battle Cancer in 2021. So the proceed will go to on his side. So I'm looking forward for that date, May 23rd.
Yeah, it'll go to the Department of Urology for bladder cancer research at Mount Sinai
Yes.
Hospital. Now, this is Thursday, May 23rd from 5 to 10 p.m., and there will be memorabilia that will be auctioned and special experiences that people will be able to.
Well, we don't. A lot of my friends, when I told them I was doing the event, they donate a lot of golf rounds to Liberty National, Sobonic. I'm a golfer. I like to golf, and people will be able to auction. Will be able to bid on an experience with me playing golf, and the Wingfoot is one of them also.
Wingfoot is so beautiful.
Ooh, that's posh.
Yes, there's a lot of beautiful places. The Ranger friends now that they belong, and they. I wanted also there's packages that people will be able to come to a game and follow me. We're gonna have dinner before the games, and I'm gonna share Madison Square Garden with them because I have access to pretty much the whole building, and it's a great experience. So there's a lot of different auctions. The jersey signed by the current players, jersey signed by myself, Turgeon, Lundqvist, Hall of Fame jerseys, and there's a lot of items that we're gonna put on the table.
Now, how do people get tickets? for this event?
They can go to matteaufoundation.org, and the whole description of the event is on it. So matteaufoundation.org.
Okay, and for
Wait, I have one last
wait,
question.
wait. Before you do
Okay.
it. That's MATTEAU Foundation.org.
Yes,
okay.
thank you.
So, Stephane Matteau, is there any sport where you suck? Is there anything? Because it sounds like you can do anything, like miniature golf. Do you suck?
Actually, I'm pretty good at it too. So,
Of course.
but to be honest, I'm being an athlete. I was pretty good. My wife and I, we started to play pickleball in Florida, and I end up picking it up pretty quick. So, I love sports. I like basketball. I'm not a good dribbler, but I can shoot. I like sports. I'm fascinated about sports. I'm pretty good. I'm not great at anything, but I'm pretty good at everything.
Oh, we know something
not
that you were
great
very
at
great at.
Yes.
We know something you were very great at.
Yes.
Great as a child in the baseball Little League World Series. Great as an adult bringing the Stanley Cup to New York.
I mean, the man probably
And a
has
great event coming up that we can all unite around.
I mean,
Yes, absolutely.
have you paid for a drink in New York since 1994?
It's surreal. Like I can afford my own drinks, but my own food. But it's just the fans. They come up to me and they are so proud, so happy when I go to their restaurant. I was in Brooklyn yesterday. And I'm taking pictures outside for about 5 minutes with strangers I never met before. I get recognized. I'm very grateful for that. So thank you, Howie Rose, for that moment.
Dennis from Mawa just sent us a text, and he said, "Taught my infant son to bless himself that night against the Devils."
That's a great moment. Yes.
So you're a part of that family's life as well. Thank you so much for
Thank you.
visiting
Thanks for
with us
having me.
this
Thank
morning
you.
at Q104.3. Remember, Matteau Foundation.org.
Yep.
You'll get all the information. It sounds like it's just going to be an absolutely incredible event and something that any real hockey fan certainly will want to attend if at all possible. So keep that in mind. MatteauFoundation.org. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Very nice to meet you. Thank you.
New York's classic rock, Q1043.